Gentlemen, welcome to Dubai.
Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're looking at endings to video games where most, if not all, of the characters wind up dead. Whether they're bad endings for making the wrong decisions, or just come from games that are really bleak. You know what that means. Spoilers ahead.
I'll figure something out. But for now, let the good times roll.
But before we dive in, we publish new content all week long. So be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Ending the Uprising. Detroit Become Human.
It's all over now. Daddy isn't angry anymore.
There are a plethora of endings to Detroit Become Human, featuring multiple outcomes where everyone lives, everyone dies, or a mix. To get the ending where everyone dies, you've got to make some poor decisions. In Kara's story, you can get Alice killed extremely early by not saving her from her father. Kara herself can die if she fails to escape from the evil scientist Zlatko, or they can both die in an android recall camp if Marcus doesn't liberate it during the final chapter. Speaking of Marcus, the leader of the android uprising can die during one of several violent protests, or be put down by Connor during the final chapter. As for Connor, he must choose to stay loyal to his company, pursuing deviant androids and not bonding with Hank. This leads to the officer's death, and after the credits, Connor learns he's being decommissioned and replaced by a new model.
This is the new RK900. Faster, stronger, more resilient.
The wrong people for the job. Mass Effect 2.
Our kinetic barriers are not designed to survive impact with debris that size, Jack.
No time to upgrade now, we're going in!
Reaching some bad endings can actively go against how most of us play video games. In Mass Effect 2, you basically have to go out of your way to be a negligent leader so that everyone dies. Throughout the game, you must choose to not upgrade your ship, the Normandy. You must also fail, or simply not do, any of the loyalty missions for your team. When it comes time for the climactic fight against the Collectors, you must choose members for specific tasks. Picking all of the wrong ones, in combination with their disloyalty to Shepard and working with an unupgraded ship, will ensure that everyone but the pilot Joker perishes in the fight. Even you.
Joker! Go! Commander!
Shepard! Detonation in 15-14.
Bound to the Veil. Dragon Age: The Veil Guard.
Such arrogance, thinking you can hide from your creator.
Another entry from BioWare where you can get everyone killed, the worst ending in Dragon Age: The Veil Guard has similar requirements to Mass Effect 2. Leading up to the finale, it's best to not have completed any companion quests, so that none of them reach the Hero of the Veil Guard status. You also shouldn't raise any faction level above 1 star. After Chapter 11, you'll have a few sections where you must choose the wrong companions to go on certain missions, making sure they die. If you've done everything right, and by that I mean wrong, after the final boss fight, your character will attempt to take on Solus. This will lead to the 2 companion characters you have left being turned to stone, and you and Solus being bound to the Veil. The world is saved, but none of you are there to see it. Extinction. Goodbye, Volcano High.
Don't worry about it. I'm going on tour with Trish and Reed in the summer with my graduation money. It's not a big deal.
This one is pretty straightforward. Goodbye, Volcano High is an adventure game that follows a group of bandmates as they prepare to graduate high school. Only, these high schoolers are also anthropomorphic dinosaurs. Even though the characters are all humanoid with different personalities, they still share the same fate as real-life dinosaurs. They have to make peace with the fact that an asteroid is heading towards them, bringing undeniable death. The game ends with the core group putting on one last performance as they await extinction. Even though we don't see it because that would be far too dark for a game like this, it's pretty obvious what happens.
Thank you.
Failure to survive. Until Dawn.
Alright. Well, hello, friends and fans. It's beyond awesome to have you guys all back this year.
Until Dawn became popular for its focus on player choice, primarily with decisions that could either save or doom a character to a grisly fate. Naturally, the game includes an ending where none of the characters are left alive. To reach it, you must already have gotten most of them killed by the climax, which can be done in a variety of ways. Only Sam and Mike must be alive by the time you reach the lodge when a group of Wendigos attack. Then, you just have to fail to stay still during both of Sam's don't move moments, which gets her killed and leaves Mike to blow up the lodge, taking the Wendigos out with him.
Huh? Huh? How's that for you?
Lost in Space. Mouthwashing. This incredibly dark indie darling follows the crew of a spaceship trying to survive after they crash. But this isn't a decision-based adventure, and things do not go well for them. Curly, the ship's captain, is left badly injured and unable to speak. Jimmy, the player character, takes on his role, and tensions mount up in the following months. This eventually leads to everyone dying. Daisuke, the intern, is critically wounded trying to make it into the medbay and is mercy killed by the mechanic, Swansea. Anya, the medic, takes her own life with the ship's remaining painkillers. Jimmy ends up shooting Swansea in a confrontation, and to top it all off, flashbacks reveal the whole ordeal was your fault. It ends with Jimmy placing Curly in a cryopod before turning the gun on himself. But to say Curly's chances of surviving and being rescued are low would be an understatement. Turning against your nature. Baldur's Gate 3.
If only you defied your father when you had the chance and freed yourself of your dark desires. But it's too late now.
You have a lot of options to choose from when setting up your character in Baldur's Gate 3, and therefore a lot of different endings to reach. One background is that of the Dark Urge. You've recently lost your memory, but have an insatiable desire to commit horrific acts of violence. You later learn this is because you're the creation of Baal, the god of murder. Throughout the game, you can either go along with your instincts or go against them, leading to different endings. If you follow Baal the whole game, but suddenly refuse to take control of the Netherbrain at the game's climax, Baal won't be too happy. You can either take your own life or surrender for your crimes. The latter sees Baal's influence destroy your mind, turning you animalistic. You then escape and go on a murder spree that eventually leads to your companions, and it's heavily implied you kill all of them in their sleep, unable to stop yourself.
Kill them all, Mad Baalban. Kill them all.
A catastrophic mission to Dubai. Spec Ops The Line. Spec Ops The Line follows 3 soldiers on a reconnaissance mission in Dubai, tracking a battalion of U.S. Army deserters led by Colonel Conrad. Sadly, the mission leads to you committing some pretty vile acts, which naturally takes a heavy toll on player character Captain Walker's psyche. The mission only goes further south from there. One of your allies, Lugo, is lynched by civilians, and the other, Adams, dies in a shootout against Conrad's men while Walker tries to make it to the big bad. Only, you then learn that Conrad has been dead most of the game, and hallucinated by Walker to justify his own actions. But the death doesn't stop there. There are 4 possible endings, 2 in which Walker dies, one where he takes his own life, and another where he goes down in a hail of gunfire while fighting an army patrol.
Remember back in Kabul, John? Before things got bad? We were talking. About nothing, really.
The Genocide Route. Undertale. Undertale famously features 3 routes that alter how the story plays out. The Genocide Route requires you to kill every single monster you come across. Not just the bosses, you must kill every potential enemy until they stop spawning, in each of the game's areas. It makes the game way harder, including unlocking one of the hardest bosses in recent memory, Sans. But if you go down this route, it ends with you immediately disposing of Asgore and Flowey, the game's two main antagonists. You're then greeted by Kara, the first human to fall into the underground as described by the game's lore, who has been revived by your actions. Kara actually revels in your destruction and destroys the entire world, leaving no possibility of life. Waiting for the apocalypse. Persona 3. In Persona 3, you and your friends work to defeat evil creatures known as shadows. You're told that by defeating the greater shadows, you can stop them forever. But you later learn that by doing so, you're breaking the bonds of Nyx, a being who wants to bring about the end of humanity. Nyx is drawn to Earth by Ryoji, who states Nyx cannot be defeated and offers his life so that your memories of Nyx and the shadows will be erased. If you spare him, you go on to the final fight and the game's true ending. However, if you kill him, the characters go about their lives with no worry. You and your friends continue with school completely and blissfully unaware that Nyx will soon arrive and destroy all of humanity.
Yo! Damn, it's cold. But of course, you never miss a day of school, huh? I'm impressed.
Know of any other video game endings where everyone perishes? Let us know about them in the comments.